So take a look at this. This is the Somnath Temple. But it's so much more than just a place of worship. It's really the heart of an epic story. A story about unimaginable wealth, just relentless destruction, and an absolutely unbreakable spirit that kind of mirrors the history of an entire nation.
Resistance and the power to rebuild. I mean, that phrase just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? The story of Somnath isn't just about ancient history. It's this powerful, living metaphor for resilience. It's about a sacred place that just refused to be erased. So you have to ask, how did that happen? How on earth did this one shrine, right on the coast, manage to endure century after century of attacks and become this incredible testament to a civilization's will to survive? Well, let's dive in. To really get why Somnath is so important, we've got to start with what it actually is, spiritually speaking. Because this isn't just any temple. Oh no. It holds a prime spot in Hindu cosmology.
So, first things first, what's a Jyotirlinga? The word literally means a pillar of light. And these are 12 incredibly sacred shrines where Lord Shiva is believed to have appeared as this fiery, infinite column of light. And Somnath? Well, it's considered the very first of them all. And, it's not just what it is, but where it is that's so special. The temple is built at the Triveni Sangam, a holy spot where 3 rivers meet the ocean. And this isn't just some beautiful backdrop. It's a place believed to be so profoundly sacred that bathing here can grant moksha, that ultimate spiritual liberation from the cycle of life and death. And the story of how the temple even came to be, well, it's rooted in this fantastic celestial drama. We're talking about a curse, a desperate prayer, and the moon god himself. Okay, so the legend goes like this. Soma, the moon god, marries 27 sisters, but he only really loves one of them, Rohini. Well, their father, Daksha, gets so furious about this that he curses Soma to lose all his light, plunging the entire world into darkness. Soma, totally desperate, comes to this exact shore, bathes in the holy waters, and prays with all his heart to Shiva. And Shiva, moved by his devotion, partially restores his light, which is how we get the waxing and waning of the moon. So, in gratitude, Soma builds the very first Somnath temple, entirely out of pure gold. And let me tell you, this golden temple was not some simple little shrine. Ancient texts describe this unbelievable splendor, like 56 pillars just studded with precious gems, solid gold chains, holy water brought all the way from the Ganga. This wasn't just a temple, it was a literal treasure house of faith and riches. Just to put that wealth into perspective for you, when the invader Mahmud Ghazni first sacked the temple, historical records say he carted away loot valued at 2 million dinars. I mean, that's just a staggering amount of money. And it's that very wealth that made Somnath a target for centuries to come. And that incredible wealth, combined with its religious power, well, it unleashed a cycle of violence that would go on for nearly 700 years. Just look at this timeline. It's just relentless. In 1025, it was Muhammad Ghazni. Then in 1299, Alif Khan. Throughout the 14th and 15th centuries, the sultans of Gujarat attacked it again and again. And finally, in 1701, the Mughal emperor Aurangzeb ordered it destroyed. Every single time the temple was leveled, its treasures stolen, its sacred symbols shattered. But, and this is the most important part, this is not a story of defeat. Because every single act of destruction was met with an equal and you could argue even more powerful act of defiance and rebirth. The response was almost immediate. Right after Ghazni's raid, 2 kings got together and rebuilt it. After Khilji's attack, another king resurrected it. Even during the Mughal era, it was renovated. And then, in the 18th century, the great Maratha queen Ahilyabai Holkar built a new temple right nearby when the old site was occupied. You see the pattern, right? Destruction was always answered by construction. And that, right there, is the heart of the Somnath story. It's basically the architectural version of a phoenix. It's proof that you can tear down a building, you can smash stone and mortar, but you cannot destroy the faith and the sheer will that built it in the first place. Now, this whole cycle of destruction and rebirth hits its climax in the 20th century. The temple's final reconstruction becomes this incredibly powerful symbol for a newly independent India. It all comes down to this date. This was a pivotal moment, happening just a few months after India gained independence. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the nation's first home minister, went to visit the ruins of Somnath.
So he's standing there on the shore, looking at the ruins, and he's so moved by what he sees that he takes a handful of seawater and makes this solemn vow to restore the temple to its former glory. And you have to understand, this wasn't just about rebuilding a temple, it was about reclaiming a huge piece of national heritage.
And this really did become a national effort. Following Mahatma Gandhi's advice, the whole project was funded by the public, through donations, not by the state. A trust was formed to manage it all, and then, in 1951, India's very first president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, inaugurated the new temple, installing the Jyotirlinga once more. And President Prasad's words at that ceremony just perfectly captured what everyone was feeling. The new Somnath Temple, it was more than a religious site. It was a symbol of a new India, an India capable of rebuilding itself from the ruins of the past. So today, that magnificent temple standing on the shore is the living result of that promise. It's a monument that carries the weight of millennia within its very stones.
Architecturally, it's a total masterpiece, built in what's known as the Māru-Gurjara or Chalukya style. And this was a deliberate choice, a direct nod to the historical dynasties that had built it centuries before. So the design itself is like a bridge connecting the present all the way back to the past. But there's something else about this location, something almost unbelievable, a kind of geographical wonder. I mean, have you ever stopped to think about a question like this while standing on a beach?
The answer is absolutely nothing. There is no landmass, not a single island, between the shore at Somnath and Antarctica. There's even an arrow on a pillar at the seawall pointing south just to remind you of this unique, kind of awe-inspiring connection to the very bottom of the world.
And that really brings us to the final thought, doesn't it? The story of Somnath, from its mythical golden beginning all the way to its modern resurrection, it really forces you to ask, can a building be more than just stone and mortar? It suggests that, yeah, some structures are more than just architecture. They're living symbols of a people's memory, their faith, and their incredible, incredible power to endure.